with two cases this week when artists we believed were on the right side of history have caused controversy for very different reasons. First up, we have Stormzy, UK rap legend who has previously spoken out in support of the Palestinian people, and he's seemingly selling out to McDonald's for some chicken McNuggets, some of that Big Mac money. And we have Los Fastidios, an anti-fascist band whose gigs were recently cancelled in Glasgow, Edinburgh, I think Carlisle too, due to a backlash for playing Israel in 2017. Now, both issues are a bit more complex than either side would give credit for. So today we're just going to access the facts and find out if these two artists have sold out their morals in exchange for a payday, or whether the protesters are targeting the wrong people. Or is it somewhere in the middle? It's usually somewhere in the middle, but let's find out. Let's start with Stormzy. Is he selling it? Well, in my opinion, doing a McDonald's advert under any circumstance is selling it, but we all have different definitions of selling it. So that's not the big issue here. McDonald's are always evil with what the lobbying or bribing of politicians, the selling processed food to obese children, glamorising shite food to weans, and that's not to mention destroying local business and all the damage they do to the environment. But this time, they've went as far as feeding the IDF free meals as they commit a genocide on the Palestinian people. Now, since then, there's been a major boycott of McDonald's and McDonald's products, with the CEO even admitting that the boycott has had a meaningful effect to their bottom line. So it's no wonder that they want someone like Stormzy to whitewash all the bad press. Now, I'm not overly familiar. I'm not a super fan of Stormzy's back catalogue, but he's made some absolute bangers. I've absolutely loved Vossy Bop. He's had some good freestyle moments. Shut Up. He's made some tunes. And he also had an iconic headline performance at Glastonbury that I really enjoyed because it wound up the racists and the people who think that every headliner should be a guitar band from the 90s. He put on an amazing show, and it was political. It ticked a lot of boxes, and I thought, well done. Well done. He proudly shouted, "Fuck Boris," on stage. So, to me, he's always seemed clued up politically. And from what I've read, he seems to have a good track record of doing charity work. So, this is why I think the left hold people like him up to a higher standard, because we expect better. But it is quite annoying because you've got somebody who has obviously done so much good work in the past is now getting attacked for a bad decision. I mean, it's not like he's like the Disturbed singer who's literally written a Menchie on a bullet, on a rocket shell that is getting with the IDF. It's not like he's done anything as bad as that specifically. But we do hold him to a higher standard because ignorance isn't an excuse. He would have thought long and hard before he accepted the cheque. So it must have been a big cheque. So that is the definition of selling out. He knew it was probably a bad idea, but he did it anyway. And does he really need that cheque? He's probably Britain's most famous export from the world of hip-hop and grime in the UK. I just don't think he needs that cheque. And the second thing is I think that it's really pissed everyone off is the fact that he deleted tweets that included his support of the Palestinian people and also his support of Jeremy Corbyn and other things like that. Other things that maybe McDonald's board wouldn't like or get involved in. Now, since then, since all the drama and the fallout from that, he has made a public statement, which is actually a very well crafted PR exercise. Basically, the gist was is he archived a whole bunch of previous tweets, which may or may not be the case, but shout outs to him or his PR team because it was worded really well. And also it sort of took the focus off the fact that you're doing an advert for McDonald's. You know. And then he reiterated something like he would never work with somebody that tells him what to do. So he's kind of admitting that he does think about who he's working with. And it just takes a quick Google to see the many bad things McDonald's are involved with. And lastly, I would just say, if someone is giving you a few £1 million to design a Stormzy meal again, just put some effort into it. Chicken McNuggets and a McFlurry. You're having a laugh with that. Definitely not your most groundbreaking work. I thought you were supposed to like add a new vegetable. I don't know, like add some sauerkraut to a quarter pounder, or add some curry sauce to a Big Mac. Something, you know. I just want it to be on the record that I also want to criticise the creativity of the meal as well. And I think he'll bounce back, no problem, because most of his audience are young people who they all eat McDonald's anyway, probably. So, I mean, I did read that he got booed the other night, but then I watched a video and I didn't hear any boos, so I don't know if he got booed or not. I think he'll be fine, but I think anything that he says from now on will always be suspect unless he turns it round dramatically by donating his Big Mac money to the people of Palestine. Next up is Los Fastidios, who had the Green Brigade threatening to protest their gig at Audio in Glasgow. The gig eventually got cancelled. Similar thing happened in Edinburgh at La Belle Angel. And like I said, I think Carlisle got cancelled, maybe another place as well. And this is just a strange one because I actually know people that have worked with this band before, and they say that their sound, it just feels like there's missing information with this story. And I suppose that would probably mean that the buck stops with how the band's dealt with it. I don't know if it's just bad decision making or there's something more nefarious going to play. But basically, in case you don't know, that they're a left-wing anti-fascist band from Italy who played Israel in 2017. And I'm sure they toured recently, so I'm not sure why it's all kicking off this time. But at first I thought, why is an anti-fascist band playing Italy? Sorry, why is an Italian anti-fascist band playing Israel? Even in 2017, it made no sense. But then I seen a screenshot of a previous statement which said they were in Israel to raise money for Palestine. And that changes everything. Surprising thing to do, but it changes the initial claims. So I thought it did, but the fact that statement was in 2022 and they've not, if that's actually truly the case, then, and they are allies of the Palestine people, then why not make a clear statement this week while all your gigs are getting cancelled? Or at least mention that your gigs are getting cancelled. From what I've seen, it just seems like they're posting videos and pictures of the gigs that are going ahead, and they're vaguely thanking everyone for the love and support they've received this week. But they just seem to be limiting comments, deleting comments, not mentioning that various gigs are getting cancelled. And, you know, I've seen people saying that they travelled, they got a flight into Edinburgh and stuff like that. And it just seems bizarre that you wouldn't mention that your gig's cancelled. And if you genuinely played Israel to play Palestine, sorry, if you played Israel to support Palestine, then you just say that and all this goes away. So it doesn't make sense. And I suppose that you've just got to come to the conclusion that they don't want to rock the boat for whatever reason. And sometimes that can be as simple as, when something bad's happening on social media, you put your fingers in your ears and you just hope it all goes away, which sometimes works, sometimes that makes sense, but when your gigs are actually getting cancelled, then it's not working, and you need to just release a statement and address some of the concerns. But yeah, I've kind of sort of came to the conclusion. I'm not 100% sure on this, but weighing everything up, it seems like they don't want to rock the boat. If I was to hazard a guess, it's probably because they have gigs in Germany coming up, and they don't want to upset the German fans or German promoters. Or, I mean, maybe they want to go back to Israel to play a gig again. But why on earth would you even want to go to Israel? I just don't get it. Unless it's a money thing, you want to go to Israel for more money. But I can't believe that, man. I don't want to believe that. I feel like if you're an anti-fascist band, they're not pretending to be an anti-fascist band for all these years. It wouldn't make any sense. There's better and easier ways to make money. Being an anti-fascist band is not very financially lucrative. There's easier ways, there's safer ways to make money. But I think at the very least, the other fans an explanation, especially the people that have travelled and booked hotels and stuff like that. It's just wild. They probably won't be welcome back in Scotland again unless they clear it up. Probably Ireland. And, this is just going to keep following them around to various cities across Europe. So it just seems really bizarre why they wouldn't just resolve this if they're telling the truth, just for the sake of a couple of German dates, or is it to play Israel again? Why would you want to play Israel? Why would an anti-fascist band want to play Israel again in this current climate? It makes no sense. But let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think that Stormzy has sold out, or if I'm being a bit too harsh. And I would be more interested in what you think about Los Fastidios and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, by the way. And just to fill in the gaps, because I feel like I'm missing something. So let me know in the comments am I missing something. It seems like they played Israel to support Palestine, but they don't want to say that again. They don't want to clarify that again. So if I'm missing something, please let me know. And thank you for listening. Like, subscribe. Bye.
You call that radio TV?